That is actual rivalry versus just commentary from the public, like people trying to make you guys be enemies.
Yeah, I think it's just competition. It's been competition since.
It looked like Angel Reese is currently going viral after speaking about Caitlin Clark and her fan.
Everything changed when Angel Reese revealed something shocking about Caitlin Clark. The video we found reveals a side of their rivalry that no one anticipated, and during the past 24 hours, things have become pretty ugly.
First to tell you, Angel Reese has definitely been in the headlines these last 48 hours, dog. I mean, she's been snapping on people on Twitter. She's dropping new episodes to her podcast, Unapologetically Angel. And yet again, she's using Caitlin Clark's name for clicks.
There's more to this story than anyone thinks, but fans are going crazy over what Angel said next. Some are calling it career suicide, while others claim she's just stating the truth.
But more importantly, even in other interviews beside her podcast, she's speaking about Caitlin Clark and the Caitlin Clark fan base. Now, we know Angel Reese has been feeling some type of way about Caitlin Clark since she was at LSU, and I'm here to tell you.
Look, before we get into this weird issue, we need to talk about Angel Reese's recent remarks regarding Caitlin Clark, which have completely turned the basketball world upside down. As you are already aware, we have access to exclusive footage that no one else is discussing, and believe me when I say that Angel's remarks in this interview are going to revolutionize everything.
That is actual rivalry versus just commentary from the public, like people trying to make you guys be enemies.
Yeah, I think it's just competition. It's been competition since college. Being able to play against Caitlin. I've been playing against Caitlin since we were probably in 8th or 9th grade. We both were really competitive during AAU. I went to Maryland, she went to Iowa, so we competed there, and then finally being able to compete in the national championship. So people don't know the legacy of us being able to play against each other for a really long time, but obviously social media is going to put two women.
Look at this. These past 48 hours have seen Angel Reese making headlines everywhere. We've heard about Twitter feuds, explosive podcast episodes, and now this shocking interview that has everyone wondering what's actually going on between her and Caitlin Clark. But this is where things start to get really intriguing.
And I think it's just been able to be something that is negative, but also positive. I think it shines light on women's basketball. So I'll take that of being able to be the person that gets the hate, but I know that at the end of the day, I'm growing women's basketball and helping women's basketball.
Let's first examine this recently discovered video. Angels is sitting there in this interview appearing really composed, but as soon as Caitlin's name is spoken, you can actually notice a change in her countenance, and the next line she says, "Pure dynamite." She claims it's merely competition, but let me tell you something. The way she puts it has an entirely different meaning. Here is a clip of Angels discussing how they have been playing since the 8th or 9th grade, but most people are unaware that there is a serious history between the two that extends far beyond college basketball. Let's take a moment to look back at that national championship game, where Angel made the "you can't see me" gesture.
Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Everyone believed that to be the height of their feud, but what if I told you that it was only the beginning? Angel's recent interview makes that moment seem like a kid's play. She's out there saying that social media will drive two women against one another, but look at this. In just the last few weeks, Angel has mentioned Caitlin's name more times than she has ever spoken in public, and that's not even the crazy part. We have receipts that prove this.
I feel like sometimes her fans cross the line.
I don't think it's just her fans. I think it's fans in general. I mean, people don't realize at the end of the day we're human. I mean, you guys watch us, and knowing that, like, it's just basketball. I promise you, it's just basketball. I don't have any hard feelings towards her. She doesn't have any hard feelings towards me, but...
Let's talk about these fans, and On keeps bringing them up in one interview. She claims that everyone's fans are the cause of the problems, but then, in her podcast, she unapologetically blames Caitlin's fan base. We have both clips, and let me tell you, the contradiction is insane. It seems like she forgot what she said in the first interview, but this is where things get really serious. People close to the situation say that Angel has been dealing with some scary things behind the scenes, like death threats, stalkers showing up at her house, and AI-generated fake photos going viral online. It's gotten out of control, and everyone is wondering why she keeps bringing up Caitlin's name if it's causing all this drama. Let's take a moment to discuss the numbers. Angel's podcast is on the verge of reaching 100,000 subscribers, which would be a huge win for her. However, the problem is that each time she mentions Caitlyn's name, those figures the occurrence of spikes. I don't think some people are referring to it as clout chasing, but I'll let you make that decision. Keep in mind that the league is unmatched. The views on their YouTube channel are dropping faster than a failed alley-oop. It seems like without the Caitlyn versus Angel narrative, people aren't as interested anymore. But let's go even further. I have some insider information about what's actually happening behind the scenes at these WNBA practices. That was supposed to be the next big thing. Caitlin Clark just opted out, but Angel is all in. Angel's teammates, I won't name them here, have some intriguing things to say about her focus. They say that she is more worried about her social media presence than her jump shot because, let me tell you, the numbers don't lie. Speaking of statistics, let's take a look at the engagement numbers when Angel talks about Caitlyn versus when she talks about anything else. The difference is astounding. Every time she brings up Caitlyn, her engagement skyrockets. But here's the thing, some may argue that I'm being too hard on Angel. But look, I'm just presenting the facts here, and the facts show a pretty clear pattern. Every time things start to slow down, and people start concentrating on actual basketball, boom, another interview drops. Caitlyn hasn't spoken a word about Angel in months. She's out there breaking records, getting drafted first overall, and living her best life right now. In this most recent interview, Angel's brought up Caitlyn's name once more, but this is what really had folks talking. The base basketball community is divided right now. Some are defending Angel, saying she's just being real and unapologetic about herself, while others are saying she should concentrate more on her game and less on creating drama. But here's my question. Why can't we have both? Let's be honest for a moment. Women's basketball has never had more eyes on it than it does right now, and the ratings are up. Angel says something subtle at first, but when you play it back, and we're going to play it again in slow motion, you can see she's hinting at something bigger. Players are becoming well-known and social media involvement is skyrocketing, but at what cost are we concentrating too much on the drama and not enough on the game itself? I have some exclusive videos from Angel's recent games that may surprise you. When she is totally focused on basketball, she is an absolute force. We're talking jaw-dropping defensive plays and incredible athleticism, but there are also other times when the social media posts, interviews, and ongoing need to maintain this rivalry are posted. Now, take a look at these numbers that no one else has discussed from the beginning of this drama. Actually, there have been some intriguing shifts in Angel's on-court play, and I'm not saying there's a direct correlation, but these numbers, they don't lie. But wait, it gets even more interesting. Remember that comment Angel made about how she and Caitlyn have been competing since 8th grade? Well, we did some digging, we found some old AA tournament footage, and let me tell you what we discovered might change everything you think you know about this rivalry. Now let's dive into this AAU footage we found. It's grainy, it's from about 2016, but what it shows is mind-blowing. There's Angel and Caitlyn, both barely teenagers, going head-to-head in a tournament final. But here's the crazy part, they're actually giving each other props after plays. Hard to believe given everything that's happened since, right? But don't get too comfortable with that feel-good story, because things are about to take a wild turn. Fast forward to today, and we've got this leaked group chat screenshot. Can't show it here for obvious reasons, but let's just say some WNBA veterans are not happy with how this whole situation is playing out. They're saying this kind of drama is taking attention away from the actual game, referring to the game. Let's discuss what's actually at risk here. Angel and Caitlyn are both WNBA rookies who should be concentrating on establishing themselves at the greatest level, but instead we're all enmeshed in this social media circus. And guess what? The sponsors are following every move. According to some insider information I have from a marketing executive at a major sports brand, I won't name names, this ongoing drama may begin to impact endorsement deals for the entire league, not just for Angel and Caitlyn. At that point, you know things have gotten out of hand. So let's break it down. Angel is sitting there with Lonzo Ball in her most recent podcast episode when she begins discussing Caitlyn's fans once more. What's interesting is that she totally contradicts what she said in that intricate interview that we previously showed you. Quickly play that video back to see the difference. It seems like two distinct tales. This Twitter is on fire, and the internet basketball community is going crazy over it. Not to mention how popular Instagram and TikTok are. These women are both incredible basketball players, but the real thing is that no one is discussing it. Angel's moves are mind-blowing, and Caitlyn's range is absolutely insane. But let's talk about the real deal. Angel is really clout chasing. The numbers show that every time she mentions Caitlyn, her social media engagement spikes by about 300%. That's not just me saying that, it's hard data. Meanwhile, Caitlyn is breaking rookie records and hardly talking about any of this. What's even more bizarre is that our team did some research and discovered that her podcast episodes with Caitlyn's name in the title receive 50% more views on average than her other content. This isn't just a correlation, it's a pattern, and it's raising some serious questions in the basketball community. I've spoken with a number of former WNBA players who are legends of the game, and they all agree that this isn't how you create a lasting legacy in the sport. One of them, who was a player for more than 15 years, said something that really resonated with me. In my day, we let our game do the talking. Now, it seems like everyone is more focused on social media trends, so let's talk about these fan reactions. In addition to death threats and stalkers, there is now a new degree of toxicity. Brewing just last week, Angel had to increase security at her public appearances. For a moment, consider that a professional athlete would require extra security due to a basketball rivalry. This is not typical, people. The situation in the unrivaled league is another excellent illustration of how this drama is impacting the larger picture. When Caitlyn chose to opt out, their viewership crashed. We're talking about a 60% drop in projected audience interest, which is millions of dollars in potential revenue. Revenue has simply vanished, but this is where things get really interesting. According to sources close to both players' teams, there have been discussions about setting up a private meeting between Angel and Caitlyn. The league wants to resolve this matter before it gets even worse. But guess what? One side keeps refusing these meetings. The impact on younger players is something we need to discuss, too. High school coaches are saying that their players are beginning to imitate this behavior rather than working on honing their skills. Instead, they're more focused on making social media feuds and viral moments. Is this really the legacy we want for women's basketball? And let's not forget about the global perspective. Women's basketball is expanding internationally, and this drama is making headlines abroad. The WNBA Commissioner's Office isn't just worried. They're actively creating new social media guidelines for players. That's right, the entire situation might end up changing league policy, and honestly, maybe that's not such a bad thing. European leagues are watching this unfold, and some teams are even using it as an example of what not to do in professional sports. That's not the kind of attention we need. You want to hear something really crazy? A sports psychology expert I spoke with examined both players' behavior and came to the intriguing conclusion that this type of rivalry often arises from a place of insecurity rather than genuine competition. Angel's podcast is on the verge of reaching the 100,000 mark. Although she is receiving more media attention than ever before, her current performance statistics paint a different picture. Meanwhile, Caitlyn is shattering rookie records, selling out arenas, and remaining totally focused. The future of women's basketball is at a crossroads right now. More people are watching the sport than ever before, but we must ask ourselves if this is the kind of attention we want, if we are creating something lasting, or if we are just chasing views and clicks. After all, these two women are incredible athletes who have accomplished incredible things for women's basketball, but perhaps it's time to let the game speak for itself. Since all of this noise is currently drowning out the game, the true question is what will happen next? Is the Angel-Caitlyn saga coming to a close, or are we just getting started? Please share your opinions in the comment section below, but be courteous. This issue doesn't need any more drama.